Imagine risking your entire engine just to avoid one annoying valve. Sounds crazy, right? But thousands of drivers are doing it right now, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why EGR delete feels like a miracle at first and why it can quietly destroy your car in the long run. Stick around because at the very end, I'll share my personal story, one decision about EGR that almost cost me an engine. So, let's talk about the infamous EGR, exhaust gas recirculation. If you've owned a diesel for more than 5 minutes, you've heard about it. If you've owned one for more than 5 years, you've probably cursed it out loud in traffic. What's this little gadget even supposed to do? It takes a portion of your exhaust gases, yes, the nasty smoky stuff, and feeds it back into the intake. Sounds ridiculous, right? Why would anyone want to mix dirty exhaust with clean air? But manufacturers designed it to cut down nitrogen oxides, the stuff that makes smog. Great for the environment, not always great for your wallet. Now here's the kicker. Over time, that system clogs up. Carbon builds inside like cholesterol in your arteries. The car feels sluggish, fuel economy drops, and sometimes, bam, you're in limp mode. You ever been overtaken on the highway, pedal down, and suddenly the car just says, "Nope, I'm done"? Yeah. Crawling in the fast lane while everyone behind is flashing their lights? Guess what? 9 times out of 10, that's the EGR laughing at you. So what happens? People Google, forums explode with advice. Delete it, just block it off, tune it out. And that's when the myth versus reality game begins. Let's break this down. Here are 5 big truths about EGR delete that almost nobody talks about. Number 1, you will feel a difference at first. Most folks say the same thing after deleting. Wow, my car feels alive again. And yeah, it does. No more dirty exhaust choking your intake, so airflow is cleaner, combustion sharper, throttle response snappier. I once helped a mate with his Volkswagen TDI. We tuned out the EGR, and the next day he called me like a kid on Christmas morning. It feels like I bolted on 20 extra horses. He wasn't wrong. But here's the trap. That honeymoon phase is sneaky. Just because it feels faster today doesn't mean you'll be smiling in 6 months. Think about fad diets. Week 1, you drop 5 pounds. Week 10, you're miserable and hungry. Same vibe. And here's another thing. Sometimes the car feels so much better right after the delete that people drive it harder. More aggressive acceleration, more stress on the turbo, and then, surprise, the free horsepower ends up costing more than the original repair would have.
Number 2, engine temps don't lie. This part rarely gets mentioned in pub conversations. The EGR's real job is lowering combustion temperature. By mixing in inert exhaust back in, the flame inside the cylinder burns cooler. Cooler flame means less nitrogen oxide, less knock, less stress on pistons and valves. Delete it, and suddenly combustion temps climb. Not explode instantly hot, but hot enough that over tens of thousands of miles, your head gasket, turbo, and even pistons take more punishment. I once took a road trip to the mountains in an old diesel van with a deleted EGR. First 100 miles, smooth as butter. By mile 300, I was topping off coolant every gas stop. Why? Because higher temps slowly cooked the head gasket. I didn't even make it to the ski lodge before the van coughed its last breath. Fun trip, huh? Ever hear about someone who bragged about their EGR delete, then 6 months later they're shopping for a new turbo? Coincidence? Probably not. Number 3, your intake stays clean, but. And this part feels fantastic. Without EGR, your intake manifold won't look like a chimney anymore. I once pulled the intake off a BMW 320d, and I swear it looked like someone poured a bucket of sticky coal inside. That's years of EGR at work.
Delete it, clean as a whistle. You could practically eat off it, though please don't. But here's the but. That soot doesn't disappear. It just moves downstream, straight into your DPF. So instead of a clogged intake, now you're risking frequent regenerations, wasted fuel during regen cycles, and worst case, a blocked filter sooner than expected. It's like sweeping your living room and dumping all the dust into the kitchen. Sure, one room looks spotless, but your partner is still going to yell at you. And trust me, when that DPF light pops up on your dash, it's not whispering, "Good morning." It's screaming, "Expensive repair incoming." Number 4, the law doesn't care about your excuses. This one's huge. Depending on where you live,
Deleting EGR is flat out illegal. Regulations say emissions gear must stay intact. If you get caught, fines can be brutal. And don't forget annual inspections. I had a customer proudly show me his EGR off tune. 2 months later, he failed inspection. Not because the tester spotted the delete, but because the car smoked like a barbecue pit when revved. He paid twice, once for the delete, again to put it back to stock just to pass. Sure, EGR delete makes sense. Cleaner intake, maybe sharper throttle, less carbon buildup. But if it's your daily driver, think twice. Maybe book a proper intake cleaning. Maybe flash the ECU with the latest update. Maybe just use higher quality fuel and oil that burn cleaner and create less soot. If you must delete, then at least support it with upgrades. Better cooling system, more frequent oil changes, keep an eye on DPF health. Don't just block the valve and hope for the best. And whatever you do, don't base your decision on your neighbor's cousin's Facebook post. Talk to real mechanics, people who've seen both the wins and the disasters. I've seen drivers who spent $200 on an EGR delete and $2,000 6 months later on a new turbo. Is that really saving money? I even saw a guy post on a forum, "Past inspection, no problem with EGR delete." Then 2 comments down, someone else, "Got fined $500 and failed mine." Same country, different stations, different luck. Do you really want your wallet depending on luck? So, what would you do in that spot? Risk it or play it safe? Number 5. Mechanics don't always tell the whole truth. Some garages love recommending deletes because it's easy money. Tune the ECU, block the valve, collect the cash. Customer leaves happy because the car feels better. But the long-term story, they're not around when the DPF clogs or the head gasket blows. That's your bill, not theirs. And here's the sneaky part. Some shops even tell customers, "Oh, everyone's deleting, don't worry." But they don't put it in writing. Why? Because they know it's a risk and they don't want the blame later. That's why forums are full of both success stories and horror stories. "My EGR delete saved me," versus "My car died after EGR delete." Same procedure, totally different endings. It's a gamble. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But make no mistake, you're the one paying the casino. So, what's the right move? I'm not here to say never delete EGR. I'm here to say, make that decision with open eyes. If your car is for racing, off-road fun, or not registered for the street, have fun. So there you go, the real before and after of EGR delete. Not the Instagram highlight reel, but the good, the bad, and the ugly truth nobody shouts about. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you deleted your EGR? Did it feel like magic? Or did it come back to bite you? Share your story in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if this video gave you something useful, smash that like button, subscribe for more real-world car talk, and share it with a mate who's thinking about ripping out their EGR. Because remember, sometimes the cheapest fix today turns into the most expensive mistake tomorrow. See you in the next one. Psst, don't click away yet. One of the videos on screen right now has the trick that could actually save your engine. Go check it out before it's too late.